this video, we're going to reveal the top 3 questions gun owners ask related to pulling the trigger during a self-defense incident, especially when it comes to the legal process. And here to answer those questions is a top criminal defense attorney who specializes in self-defense cases, Casey Castillo.
I do have some questions here from members that have come in over the last couple of weeks, and so I wanted to take the time to answer a couple of them. Question number 1 I got is, how long after a critical incident does this whole process take? Well, unfortunately, there's not a real set answer on that. You can be involved in a critical incident and actually hear nothing for quite a while. And as you all know, no news is good news, right? So hopefully you don't hear something right away. And that means that the case is being reviewed and they're taking their time over at the district attorney's office locally to make sure that they have all the information. And, it's my job to make sure that they do. And so part of that process can take a while because I want to make sure that if I need an investigator to go out and talk to someone, or we need to analyze video, that we go ahead and do that. If you get filed on right away, then that's a whole entirely different process. Actually, that was another question we got from a member recently. How long does the court process take if I've been filed on? Unfortunately, it can go 2 different ways. The first way is the lesser of 2 evils for our members, and that would be a misdemeanor. In California, a misdemeanor has to be filed by the district attorney's office from 1 year of the date of the incident. So if you get arrested on March 17th of 2023, the DA's office, if they're going to file a misdemeanor, has to charge you by March 17th, 2024. And in California, we have some new rules and new laws, some of them which actually work out for our members. If you're involved in a self-defense incident and you are charged with something that involves a firearm or doesn't, it may be that I can get you out of being prosecuted by what's called judicial diversion now. As long as it is not a case that involves domestic violence where you are the defendant, and some other cases like DUI, we may be able to file a motion in court that the judge reviews the kind of person you are, the normal good judgment you have, and sets it about so that you can complete some classes and actually have the case go away like you were never arrested. I actually have one of those motions pending for a USCCA member right now. In California, though, for felonies, the DA's office has 3 years from the date of offense to file charges. So you may be kind of wondering for a while what's going to happen with your case. The good news is, at least in the Inland Empire, we have great relationships with the prosecutors and can follow up on your case and see what's taking so long. Sometimes that just means that your case has been turned down and you just weren't aware of it, or that it's still under review. But we're happy to keep you posted, and that's something that we do routinely.
Quick pause here to remind you that we have a super secret giveaway going on right now. It's absolutely free. Just click the link in the description down below to find out what you could win. Now back to the video.
Another question I got from a USCCA member was, what kinds of things are you able to do in my defense? Well, we have a whole bag of tricks sometimes, and we occasionally have to use them. We have investigators on staff, and we usually have the opportunity to work closely with USCCA to make sure that that is funded. Obviously, there's no guarantees each time, but is one of the things that we will work on to make sure that your case is thoughtfully and fully prepared before we go to court. Investigators can go out and interview witnesses. They can take photographs. We can collect evidence such as video. We have the ability to ask for that video to be reviewed professionally for human factors or other things that may be helpful in your defense. And I can tell you that those kinds of options are almost priceless occasionally in getting your case resolved, at least quickly, but definitely thoroughly. So my experience is that if you have USCCA membership, go through your materials, get that training, because that's going to help me down the road if you need to use my services, and make sure that you're aware of just all the options that you have available to you. So one of the other questions that I've been asked recently was, what would make me a good client for you if I get into a self-defense incident or need to defend others? And I think that's a great question. Obviously, I can't always pick my clients, but if I could, I would pick ones that have taken the time to educate themselves, taken the time to commit to training, and taken the time to understand exactly what a use of force looks like. We can't choose our circumstances and timing of when that's going to affect us personally, but having your ducks in a row is a huge deal. I would always prefer the client who is able to articulate why they needed to use force, why they felt they were being threatened or their family member was being threatened, than someone who just says, well, I haven't been trained on this in a while, or I haven't paid attention, and I just kind of reacted. That's not going to get me good results based on my experience in trial. The jurors are going to want to hear from you, and they're going to want to hear, what it is that made you act in the method in which you did. And so if you can participate in training, and I know for a fact that USCCA offers that training, you would be in a much better position when the time comes that you do have to act.
Before you go, you just missed one of our best videos that got over 500,000 views. Click right here to watch it now.